Morning. Having to wear a jumper today, first time in a while, so weather's slightly changing. Want to talk a little bit today about goal setting and applying a principle called the SMART principle that I learned recently while doing my personal training course to life goals. But before we get specifically into SMART and the acronym SMART, starting point with any goals is that you need to kind of set yourself a long-term goal. Long-term goal can be a 6-month goal, a 12-month goal, but something far-reaching, a long-term goal. Then you need to break your long-term goal into a number of medium-term goals, but these medium-term goals need to drive towards the long-term goal. And in turn, your medium-term goals need to get broken down into micro goals or short-term goals. And again, these short-term goals need to drive towards the medium-term goals that drive towards the long-term goal. So effectively, if you were simply to add milestones and risk assessments into all of that, you'd basically be looking at a Prince certified project plan, but this is a project plan for your life. So let's take an example of this and let's apply the SMART principle. So SMART isn't just a nice word, it's an acronym, and SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. All right, hopefully the wind isn't too loud. All right, so all your goals that you need to set need to apply to that SMART principle. They need to say be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. So let's just take a long-term goal. I want to set it a 6-month goal, and my plan is I want to be a happier person in 6 months' time. There's a good positive goal. I want to be happier in 6 months' time. So firstly, we apply the SMART principle. Is that specific? Can say I want to be happier in 6 months' time. Is that specific? I think it is. I think that's quite a specific thing. I want to be a happier person in 6 months' time. However, is it measurable? Now, you may think that's a bit questionable, but the answer is actually quite simply, yes, it is. I would advise anybody that's looking at trying to find a way of seeing how happy they are at the moment to make themselves happier, to get onto Google the Oxford Happiness Survey. And all you need to do to make your goal a measurable one is take the Oxford Happiness Survey now. This is being done just for you. It's not for your boss. It's not for anybody else. It's personally for yourself. So be 100% honest when you answer the questions, and you get a score. Save that score, write it down, put it somewhere safe. In 6 months' time, you do the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire again being 100% completely honest, and you get the score. You will see whether you're happier or not. You should feel happier, you should know it, but you actually have a way of measuring it using the Oxford Questionnaire. So yes, being happier in 6 months' time is both a specific goal and a measurable goal. Is it attainable and realistic? Damn right it is. Unless you are currently the happiest person in the world, in which case being happier wouldn't be your goal, it's certainly attainable and realistic. And isn't time-based? Well, we're setting ourselves a time of 6 months' time to be happier, to redo the test. So yes, we have a long-term goal that fulfills all the SMART principles. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's time-based. Now we break that long-term goal down into a number of medium-term goals. I'm just going to focus on one. So basically what you do is you take a list of what are the things that make you happy. What are the things that you know when you do those things, they make you happier. So we just take one and say spending time with my family, spending dedicated time with my family, one-to-one, not thinking about work, where I can actually spend time and it's just us and family. That makes me happy. That's a good medium-term goal to driving towards the long-term goal. So how do we apply the SMART principles to that? Well, let's say what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves a goal of spending 6 days, 6 complete days in a good environment with the family over the next 6 months. 6 weeks. So that's a medium-term goal. So over the next 6 weeks, I want to spend 6 days with my family, away somewhere, doing something without distractions where we're all together. So, is that specific? Yes, it is. Is it measurable? Yes, it is. We can measure in 6 weeks' time. Have we spent 6 days together? Is it attainable? So now what we need to do is have a little look. So let's just think about the realities of life. I've got no leave due to me and the kids are at school. So Monday to Friday, this is not going to happen, which means we need to spend 1 day together every weekend for the next 6 weekends. Is that attainable? Look in the diary. Well, actually we notice that the kids have a school trip away in a couple of weeks' time, or 3 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, and they won't be here. Let's relook at that goal. Let's say we're going to spend 5 days together over the next 6 weeks. 5 complete days over the next 6 weeks. Is that now attainable? Yes, it is. Is it realistic? Well, if I plan it properly and I make it happen, yes, it is realistic. And is it time-based? Yes, we've set ourselves a time-based goal. So now we've got a medium-term goal of spending 5 days with the family over the next 6 weeks. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's time-based. Now we take that goal, and we can do this with a number of medium-term goals, and we break that down into our micro goals. So our micro goals are for the next 2 weeks. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, we are going to go away as a family to the beach. And on the following Sunday, we are going to go to an amusement park, to a theme park. Right, is that specific? It's very specific. This Saturday we're going to the beach, next Sunday we're going to a theme park. Is it measurable? Very definitely it's measurable. Is it attainable? Well, we've spoken with the family, we've cleared the diaries, it's in everybody's diaries. Is it realistic? Absolutely it's realistic, but I need to do some planning to make sure that it's effective. And is it time-based? Yes, it is. We're talking about the next 2 weeks. So what we have now is a smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-based goal. It's a micro goal that's designed to drive towards our medium-term goal, which is also smart-based. And our medium-term goal is one of our goals that drives towards our long-term smart-based goal of being happier in 6 months' time. Now what I need to do is I need to make sure that I plan the next 2 weeks properly. I need to make sure that everything I do at work will be finished by Friday afternoon. So I've got no reason to have to go into the office over the weekend and spoil my plans, and that I've got nothing hanging over my head. So if there's a really big report that I've got to hand into my boss or hand into a supplier, whatever it is, on Monday afternoon, I need to make sure that I plan my week, that I get everything on that report done before I go home on Friday. And anything that isn't complete on Friday, I've got it in the diary, I've got it set up, I've got the phone points up for Monday morning, that I know very comfortably when I go into work on Monday, I'll get the last little bits of information that I need, plug them into my report, put it all together, and get it over to the person who can do it. Now I've planned properly that I can make sure that on the weekend, when I go to the beach with my family, I'm not thinking about work, I'm not being distracted, I'm not sitting there with my kids and going to myself, oh God, I've got a report to do on Monday and it's nowhere near ready. Or I don't, in the worst case scenario, I don't cancel late on Friday because I haven't got myself ready. So I have to plan to be able to achieve my micro goal. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit my micro goals. My micro goals are going to drive towards my medium-term goals, and my medium-term goals are going to make me hit that long-term goal, which is smart. In other words, it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, it's time-based. And in 6 months' time, I'm going to do that Oxford Happiness Questionnaire again, and I'm going to see that I'm going to be a happier person because I've followed the SMART principle. And you can adapt this to all parts of your life. So, you know, that's the message. Set a long-term goal, break it down into medium-term goals, take those medium-term goals, break them down into micro goals, and then plan every single one of your weeks to hit your micro goals. You know, and make sure those goals are SMART. I'm going to go through the acronym once more because it's really, really important. Without making your goals SMART goals, you're really hindering your chance of achieving them and getting to what you want to do. So your goals have got to be SMART. They've got to be specific, they've got to be measurable, they've got to be attainable, they've got to be realistic, and they've got to have a time frame to them. Everybody have a really smart weekend. Bye.